Okay, so today I'm doing a review on Tariq Nasheed's Foundational Black American Race Baiter. It was one of the best books that I read this year. And we just seen this recent election cycle, and I'm stating this, and it may date the video, but it's real, right? Sometimes we just got to be real. In the recent election cycle, we have rappers and entertainers representing us, and while I don't think because one person has this level of education and another person has this level of education that makes anyone better. However, some people are more qualified and have a background to better articulate our wants and our needs, right? If you were in surgery and you needed a surgeon, you will want the best surgeon, right? You perhaps wouldn't want someone who's aspiring to be a surgeon, right? You will want someone who is validated, right? And I think that that's important to get off. So he talks about the history of the black people in this country. So what makes a black American different than someone who just got here, let's say yesterday, right? Let's say an African American and a person who just came from Africa yesterday, are they the same? Well, no, we know they're not the same. They might speak very different languages, different religions, cultural, different perceptions on the world. But the problem with this title is that it would enable to promote confusion, right? So a group of people who just came here yesterday can be confused with people who's been here for 4, 5, 6, 1,000 years, right? And so he goes into that. He says that the dominant society has actively worked to segregate the histories of the Aboriginal people here, the red skinned natives, the lighter skinned natives, and the black natives, right? But we know all over the world, if we look at the Mesoamericans, the Aztecs, and a lot of the pictures that we have of the indigenous people who were here prior to colonization, that they were of a darker complexion, right? And we know post colonization and the things that were enforced on us, and the encomienda system, the repartimento system, the ascenda system, and the system of global racism has affected the way that the natives look. And we have also, because they had the casta system, we have been reclassified into these many different categories. And this is what the author is talking about. Okay, so he talks about that this system originated in Spain, and he talks about the Moors and the the North Africans invading Spain, them during the Reconquista, being kicked out of Spain in 1492 and driven to other regions, right? And then that whole system of codifying uh resources based on skin color was originated and formed and codified in Spain, and then it was brought to the rest of the world, right? We know that the Spanish and the Portuguese were the first ones to uh spread out of Europe, and then later the British and the other world powers follow suit. So he talks about the laws, the societal norms, personal interactions globally that continue to affect the other group overtly and covertly. He talks about as a child that he experienced discrimination. He talks about when he was in school that he experienced a situation where he was playing with people in the dominant society. This was in Birmingham, Alabama during the 1970s. And he reflects on his childhood in Detroit, and he reflects on his childhood in Birmingham, Alabama. Now, previously, I drove trucks throughout the country, so I've been to most places in the country, and so I've actually been to the little city um on the outskirts of Alabama and Birmingham, where this story takes place. So that's a really cool side fact. but I've also been to Detroit, New York, West Coast, everywhere, right? I'm a traveler. So I when he named some of these places and the things, I can grasp in my mind what that must have been like for him as a young child to experience the cultural differences of a place like Detroit. And he speaks on the Black Power movement in Detroit, the remnants of that was still around in the 70s, the energy there, right? And Motown, Temple Number 7, Malcolm X, the Nation of Islam. And then he also talks about coming to Birmingham, Alabama, that also had roots of a civil rights struggle, but of a different flavor.